Now we shift our focus to more developments. In the latest updates, Supreme Court has told the stand-up comedians Samay Raina, Vipul, Goyal, Balraj, Singh, Ghai, Nishant, Jagdish, Tanwar and Sonali Thakkar to tender an unconditional apology on their YouTube channels and other public social media accounts for their alleged insensitive remarks against the people with disability. Sambhav Sharma, my colleague, joins me for the latest updates in this. Sambhav, we have heard from you about how the judgment by the Apex Court has also warned these comedians and people with influence at the larger public to practice restraint in making comments and issuing statements that deal with offending the people with disabilities and also matters to the larger public insensitivity that can be witnessed in such statements. What are you picking up as far as this judgment is concerned, as now all the influencers are told to owe the unconditional apology on their public platforms?
Well, absolutely. The matter was before the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has come down heavily on the comedians, the YouTubers, and the social media influencers, rather using freedom of speech and expression as a reasoning for saying whatever they want to say. See, this was a petition filed by an NGO against Samay Raina and other social media influencers, and seeking their apology for derogatory remarks against the people with disabilities. So this was the matter. Hearing was going on, and Justice Jamal Bakshi has said that freedom of speech and expression should have reasonable restrictions, and especially when it comes to using it for commercial gains. And there one should be, especially these social media influencers, should be wary of the fact that what they are saying, they cannot as per the Supreme Court, there should be a reasonable restriction to what these social media influencers are saying. Although Samay Raina's lawyer has said that he has tendered an apology, but the Supreme Court has again made its stand very clear that the apology must not be in the four walls of the court or in a closed room. It should be a public apology, and it should be published on their social media handles as well, is what is said by Supreme Court. Especially Justice Jamal Bakshi has commented and has pulled these social media influencers, and there are many very important comments. The Supreme Court has asked Samay Raina and four others to tender this unconditional apology. Is one very important thing is Supreme Court said, and this they'll have to say this in their podcast and YouTube channels, not just in the Supreme Court. And influencers, these stand-up comedians, should be careful about the sensitivities involved while they speak or they do podcast, and also they cannot make fun of the disabled, and Supreme Court has said, and especially Justice Jamal Bakshi has said that today they are making fun of this particular group, the social disabled person. Tomorrow they could make fun of anybody. So they should be restricted in doing so, and freedom of speech and expression in a way is not an absolute right, but in a way, freedom of speech and expression, there should be reasonable restrictions. And many senior lawyers from the Government of India Center were also present, and these were the remarks made by Supreme Court when it comes to these social media influencers. See, this is very important in the wake of the rise of the social media and the way social media influencers is
all right,
using
Sambhav, continue to stay with us. We also have another Supreme Court, in fact, breaking development, which has dismissed